When we first came here, Flagstaff was just a little country town, you know. So,
Yeah. And so how long have you been gardening?
I came from a farm family. So I said that when we get a house, you know, it has to be large enough so we can have a garden. And ever since we've been living in Flagstaff, that's been like, I would guess, about 40 years ago.
About 40 years. Wow. So you've been gardening up here a long
A
time.
long time. You know, I had to learn about this altitude, you know, when we first came because it was really kind of disappointing, you know, because I thought that we would have a good garden, and then the weather played a lot into it too, because this season is so short, you know.
Yeah.
The frost come early September, so you have to play it by ear. You never know.
What do you like best in terms of vegetables you grow? What's your favorite?
Well, you know, southern dish is always greens.
Yeah. Everybody likes
greens.
Yeah.
And of course, I like beets. You know, I do pickle beets, and sometimes I do zucchini relish.
Okay.
And of course, I grow the sage so that during the holidays, you know, we like to have dressing. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, some things grow better than others. You know, things that grow with roots do real good, like carrots, beets, potatoes.
Because these are carrots right along
Those
here.
are carrots,
yeah,
right.
and they look like they're gonna. They look like they're pretty big.
Yeah, and hopefully.
You won't know until you pull them up.
Until I pull them up. And you know, back in the Carolinas, fried collards.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they fried, and that's a delicacy.
Oh, wow. I
back
never.
there,
yeah.
right.
I never knew that.
And then some people eat the beet tops too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
So-
I tried that, but it didn't go well with me.
Did you learn a lot from your family in terms of doing this? Your parents or whoever?
Yeah, well, back in Mississippi, you know, almost everybody had gardens.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Almost everybody had gardens, so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You went to Tuskegee.
I went to Tuskegee.
Yeah. Yep. You graduated from there. We don't want to say what year because it's nobody's business.
No, it's nobody's business.
But Tuskegee Institute. Now it's Tuskegee University. Yeah, it changed from. So when you were going, that's where a lot of black kids went at that time.
At that time, yeah. Known all over the world. You know,
Yeah.
because I would know when I was in the Far East, somebody said, "Oh yeah, Tuskegee. That was one of the best Negro schools, called a Negro schools in the South."
Yeah, back then. Because what was that? Yeah.
Booker T. Washington School.
Yes.
That's what they called it.
The Peanut Man, right?
Peanut Man. Yeah.
Everything about peanuts.
I was there when you remember Dr. Drew.
Yep.
Yeah, the blood plasma
Yep.
person.
Yep.
Well, at that particular time, I was working at the hospital, you know, as an aide.
Oh, okay.
Aide. The hospital president was Dr. Dibble. Dibble was going around to everybody, you know, we got to get ready for Dr. Drew. Dr. Drew's coming. And then when we got the news, everybody just flocked.
Yeah, when he died.
Because he was on his way to Tuskegee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was on his way to Tuskegee.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
so
he
that
was-
when he got in that car accident, he was on his way to
He
Tuskegee.
was on his way because we'd all getting ready, preparing for him. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Now that's a little bit of history. I bet you that nobody knows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I've read a lot about
really,
him
yeah.
and the accident.
And it's so strange, you know. He invented the blood plasma, and he died in a flood.
Yeah, yeah. You also spent some time overseas with your husband when he was in the army.
We were on Taiwan for about 3 years.
Oh wow! And then how long were y'all in the army? Because the whole family's in the army when one's in the army. The whole family.
22 years.
22 years. So when y'all got out of the military, your husband, Mr. Locket, what made y'all decide to come to Arizona?
Come to Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
That's really a long story too. Well, when he was serving his last 2 years, he was in Japan. Got orders to go to Japan. He wanted to go back to school once he got out of the army.
Oh, okay.
And so we decided, well, somebody has to work, you know. while he's going to school. So we decided that I would go back and renew my teacher certificate in Texas. So I hooked up with a friend in Killeen. So we decided we were going to go and get our masters at Prairie View.
Okay.
And so we went every Saturday during the summer.
Oh, okay.
While I was there, I met this couple from reservation.
Oh.
They made the reservation sound so good. I said, well, why don't you send me an application when you get back to the reservation? So they did. At that time, Arnold had made it back to Hawaii. He didn't know how long he was going to be in Hawaii. So he sent me an application from Hawaii. I got selected for both places.
Oh, wow.
For both places. He said Hawaii was very prejudiced. For some reason, he didn't like it there very well. So he said, well, why don't we decide on a reservation?
Okay.
So that's kind of how I got there.
You got there. And you taught out there for how many years?
For 22 years. Yeah.
22 years.
Yeah. Yeah, because when we first came, I was out at Mini Farms.
Oh, okay. All right.
And that was a story, too, because out at Mini Farms, when the Red Ball was delivering our furniture to Mini Farms, so they unloaded a few pieces of our furniture, and they came in, they said, Miss Locket, said, we need to talk to you. I didn't know what they wanted to talk to me about. And I said, okay. So they said, are you sure you want to stay out here? So I said, sure, I'm very sure I want to stay out here. Because having been on Taiwan and all around the world, you know, I said, this is no different, you know, to me. They said, okay.
You know, I could probably sit and listen to you talk for forever. Because I always learn something whenever I come over here. I wanted to make sure that we got some footage of you and talking about your garden and how you grew up and where you grew up. Because we're losing a lot of stories, you know, in terms of Flagstaff and the people who lived here, you know, and the difference that they made in all of our lives.